What does it really mean for an AI to think? Today, we're diving deep into Interview Angular, routing guards navigation. Angular routing matters because it turns components into journeys. URLs become product states, and access rules shape architecture. Navigation becomes part of the user experience. A strong candidate knows how to go to another page. They can design how users enter, move, pause, recover, and return. Importantly, they understand navigation as part of real application flow. Thus, routing guards are essential for controlled user journeys. More specifically, they manage access and navigation logic effectively. Notably, a good developer builds seamless transitions between views. Each step in the journey requires careful planning and implementation, but here's where it gets interesting. The component island problem. Without routing discipline, an Angular app becomes a pile of screens connected by accidental clicks. Next, state hides inside components and back buttons break context. Importantly, deep links fail and auth logic spreads everywhere. Thus, the bottleneck is not navigation itself. More specifically, it is the lack of a central contract that explains what every URL means. So, what's the real problem? Let's talk about routes are the contract. Routes map a URL pattern to what Angular should render next. Route order matters because Angular uses a first match wins strategy. Importantly, specific routes must come before generic routes. Thus, the wildcard belongs last for 404 recovery. Root config is not setup code. More specifically, it is the application map. Angular handles this routing mechanism effectively. This raises a critical question. The shell and the outlet. The router outlet is the frame where matched routes appear. Next, router link turns template elements into navigation. Importantly, this avoids hard-coded page reloads. Thus, it separates the permanent shell from changing views. More specifically, header layout and navigation stay stable. Notably, Angular swaps the routed component as needed. Suddenly, the app feels continuous instead of stitched together. Now, let's zoom in on URLs carry user intent. Route params identify resources like users, ID query params express view state like filters, and search terms. Modern Angular can bind route, data, and path parameters into component inputs. This makes the URL a clean interface between navigation and rendering. Angular provides tools to handle matrix parameters and query parameters effectively. Here's something most people overlook. Child routes create journeys. Child routes model nested experiences, dashboard sections, product tabs, account settings, admin panels. The parent owns the frame. Children change inside a nested outlet. Next, this is where interviews get real. Importantly, the question shifts from can you route to design hierarchy. More specifically, continuity and mental orientation matter. Most notably, child routes create structured and intuitive journeys. Think about this for a second. Lazy routes protect the first load. Lazy loading moves route code out of initial bundle. Next, it loads the code only when needed. Importantly, Angular's lazy route migration helps convert routes. More specifically, it changes eagerly loaded components into lazy loaded ones. Thus, production bundles are split into smaller chunks. Notably, this avoids one oversized JavaScript payload. Angular supports this approach for better performance, and this is where things get complex. Guards are navigation policy. Guards decide whether navigation can happen next. CanActivate protects entry to a route. CanActivate child protects sections within a route. CanDeactivate protects unfinished work. During navigation, CanMatch controls whether a route should match at all. Importantly, guards are client-side checkpoints. Thus, real authorization must still be enforced on the server. Angular uses these guards for navigation policy. But here's where it gets interesting. Resolvers remove blank moments. Resolvers fetch required data before a route activates. Components render with critical text already available. Next, they reduce empty screens and centralize error handling. Thus, route transitions feel more deliberate. More specifically, resolvers answer what must be ready first. Notably, guards answer, "May I enter?" in Angular. The cleaner mental model makes navigation simpler. So, what's the real problem? Let's talk about the interview signal. A production auth flow is a route machine. Unauthenticated users redirect to login next to authorized users, enter protected areas, feature flags, shape route matching. Importantly, resolvers hydrate screens more specifically, catches broken paths notably. The candidate who explains that system is not memorizing Angular, they are designing user journeys with architecture